Hey guys, today I'll be teaching you how to make a signature like this or this, and it's really easy and in just small steps, and you're going to learn how. So you only need three things. You need an empty canvas for the signature, a render with flow. I really like to use Spider-Man renders because it gives, I don't know, the sensation of movement. So I'm gonna use this one, and a space stock like this or this, and you can just Google them, space stocks. So first let's go to our render and Control A and Control C to copy the render and Control V to paste it on the canvas. Let's just resize and just put it like this, smaller for better detail. I'm just gonna put it here, and now let's duplicate it a bunch of times and just move it around the canvas like so, like this. Duplicate, and just gonna do this faster like this. Now that we have our background, we have to go to filter and liquify. Oh, first let's paste our render and just put it on the canvas so we know where the flow is. It's really important to have flow in your signature. So let's just make this Spider-Man here render a bit smaller. There we go, that should do. Probably let's just rotate it like this, a bit smaller, and just put it like this. And actual pixels now. Now go to your background layer and let's just name this background. Go to filter, liquify, and just brush it like this, and there we go. So the signature has a decent flow and goes well with the render. And I'll just duplicate this and move it a bit here, duplicate again and move it here so we cover the empty spaces. And there we go. Now let's just merge these background copies. Now that we've made our background, let's blur it a bit to make our render stand out more and not stick with the background so much. So we go into grab all blur tool right here, right click, and I am on strength 33 and a 100 pixel brush, and I'm just going to brush the edges a bit like so. There we go, looks really nice. And going to lower the strength now and just brush the pieces that were left. There we go, maybe just a bit more here. And oh, let me just fix it here. There we go, like so. We had a white space there. Now that our background is done and our render is placed, we need to put some shades. So we make a new layer on top of our render and we grab a soft black brush and we just brush around here and here where the shades should be, because as you can see the light on the render is coming from above him. So let's just brush it here like this. And this one we're going to lower the opacity, and as you can see it's more pronounced now. Well, so I'm going to lower the opacity to about 28, and I'm going to make a new layer on top and add just a bit more shades to make the render stand out more. And just gonna lower the opacity on this too, and that looks pretty nice. Remember to save your project, so go to File, Save As, blah blah blah, and to have always in case Photoshop crashes or stuff. Okay, now let's add some light. So make a new layer and grab a soft brush again. Let's go for 200 pixels, 230, and just brush right where the light comes from, and in this case from above Spider-Man, like so. And now we have our light source, and as you can see it's lighting even the background well. And let's just Control S ourselves to save this, And now let's add our space stock, or better yet, let's add text. Text is mandatory. You don't have to add it if it will look bad on the signature. So I'm just going to go for just a bit of text here. And where should I place it? Okay, this seems a good position. Maybe here. Yes. And now what I like to do is drag a line here, like so, a shape, and then right click and rasterize and just put it here. Let's just grab our move tool. Let's maybe erase a bit with the eraser tool, and there we go. That looks really nice. I'm going to leave it like that for now, and control save again. Let's add our space stock now. I'm going to try this one, and I'm just gonna put it here. Control A, Control C, and Control V to paste. And now screen. Going to try it on screen. Looks pretty nice. I'm pretty satisfied with this. And okay, let's lower the opacity because we don't want it ruining our signature. Now we're going to duplicate this on top and put it on soft light, so the shadows are more pronounced. And now, as you can see, we have a good light source, and we have good shades. So the signature is almost done, and it looks pretty nice. Maybe we can blur a bit more of the render, like the fist here, because it seems like it's behind, and that's going to give a nice effect. So let's just grab our blur tool, just blur the fist just a bit, and probably this toe here, and the spider web. There we go. And now let's try adding probably this one, this stock of space, and just put it on lighten. There we go. That looks pretty nice. Bit of stars here and there. And now control save. Now what you want to do is add a new layer on top of everything, and then image, apply image, and this will put your image on top of a layer. So as you can see, if I hide these, the image is still here, already done. So we're going to grab our sharpen tool, which is here next to the blur tool. Right click, and I have protect detail off because I'm not going to sharpen too much. And strength 35, just gonna click around the render to make it stand out from the background. As you can see, it's beginning to get some sharp lines, sharp shapes. There we go. That looks really nice. Now we're going to apply the image again, and this time we're going to grab our dodge and burn tool. We're going to make use of it. Let's grab our burn tool, and just with shadows selected and exposure 23, I'm just going to make the bottom a bit more darker and the render a bit more darker, and like so. And I'm going to grab the dodge tool, have it on highlights, exposure at 8%, and just going to put out some of the stuff here more on Spider-Man, like the feet, like here and here. And there we go. We got nice lighting, we got nice shading, and text, as I said, it's mandatory. It's not really necessary. You can just leave it out. In this signature, it will look better without, but I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. And yeah, we're done. That's about it. That's how you make a simple signature in some easy steps. So it's just like duplicating the render a bunch of times in the background, blurring it, adding render, shades, lights, and space stocks. That's about it. If you have to maybe give an extra touch if you want to. What I always like to do is give two versions to the people to analyze, so I'm going to make a new file right now. I'm just going to go like this and just go to actual pixels, and I'm going to select my signature and apply image again. Going to select it all and paste it here where we made it. Going to leave it like this, and now we're going to make a new gonna duplicate the signature below and just drag it below here. And I'm going to add a black and white gradient map, which is this here. You can add it here from the effects gradient map, as you can see. And now I'm going to apply image again. Whoop, let me just hide this one, and like so. And now we're going to grab our burn tool again and dodge tool and just click around here a bit so it makes the render stand out more, and black and white should be a bit more retouched than the original. There we go, that looks pretty nice. And now I like to unhide the other and merge the layers, so we have a black and white version and a color version. Right now I'm going to just make this a bit smaller and crop the image. Going to add a black background, not totally black, 95% gray. Filter, noise, add noise. Okay, 1.05% should do. Now I'm going to grab a big white soft brush, and I want to do like this, put it on soft light, lower opacity a bit, and this is going to have a gradient overlay. And yeah, I like to give people two versions of the signatures. Here I'm going to drop some shadows and they can check it out, and yeah, that looks much better now, and people will be visually pleased by your work. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, PM me, and make sure to check Baka renders for comic book renders too, and anime renders and stuff. That's about it. Bye bye. Ciao.